So our first speaker of the event, the first session will be on TBA, token-bound accounts, and ERC-6551, which is the main topic of this event. As you all know, our first speaker is Giang, who is the contributor to ERC-6551 token-bound accounts ecosystem, as well as the founder of Future Primitive. Despite the time zone, he lives in Canada. He's making the event special by dialing into Zoom at a late night of 2:30 a.m. Please welcome him. Hi, Benny.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, how's it going? I teleported across the ocean to come here. I see Gabby here, Poopy's here, a lot of familiar faces. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here, Junie. Thanks for organizing. Yeah, I'm here to talk to you guys. That's what they told me to do. So that's what I'll do. Does this work?
Yep.
No? It's okay, I'll click it here. Okay, so hello, my name is Benny. Some of you guys have know me, or you maybe don't, but you'll get to know me. So a little bit about me. I've been building startups for the last 8 years, part of Y Combinator Startup School for Toby. I was one of the co-founders of CryptoKitties. Contributed to ERC-721, aka NFTs. I was employee number 13 at Dapper Labs, and I was one of the product leads at NBA Top Shop. And now, more recently, co-founder of Future Primitive. So a little bit about Future Primitive. We are a team of 8. I co-founded Future Primitive with Steve, who is a 3-time founder. He was an early advisor and angel of Uber. He currently is a GP at Kindred Ventures, early investor of Coinbase and Utopia Labs, Zora. And Jaden, our CTO, came from various different startups as the CTO. And we have our amazing team. Majority of us are based in Vancouver, Canada. And Steve's in San Francisco, so we're mostly West Coast. So I came here to talk to you guys about ERC-6551, but I always like to do my talks to start off with like the why. And for me, it's a personal thing, but I love NFTs. Part of the team that launched NFTs 6 years ago in 2017, and it's 6 years later, and I still love NFTs. I have a special CryptoKitties pin here, which I'm sure Poopy has as well. And number 2 is I really do believe NFTs are the unit of culture. I personally want to enable new forms of culture being created with NFTs. Number 3 is we're here, at least from my perspective, to combat speculation. I think speculation has its up and down and all these things, but we're here to talk about utility. We're here to talk about how to use your NFT and not just sit here and wait for the floor to go up and down. Number 4 is I want a future where creatives and artists and builders can make a living on chain or online. And next one is I really do believe it's in human nature to record history. You've probably been to the library, you've probably been to a museum, you get to see artifacts of the past that have been tens of thousands of years old. And I really do believe that the blockchain does exist for us as humans to record things. And last but not least is we have to make the internet, the world, a better place to live in before we kind of focus on all the visual elements, or AKA the metaverses, that type of stuff. So what's funny is this is 2018. You could probably recognize that is exactly a nonce. I was standing right here in 2018 in my CryptoKitty jumpsuit. I was here I did a meetup here for CryptoKitties. I was also at BITO Seoul 2018, as you kind of see. Met some really amazing folks. I'm sure you probably know who that is. Also visited the Blockchain Cafe. I don't know if it's still open. I haven't been there for a while. That's me again on stage doing a talk, and again, it brings a really warm feeling for me to be back here again. 6 years later, I haven't been to Korea for that long. And I did a presentation to everyone here. I guess like the earlier generation of the Korean blockchain community about like what does it mean to be, what do kitties look like in NFTs. And that's me again. And that was the group photo. So hopefully we get to do a group photo today, because then we get to commemorate. Maybe we should mint the photo as an NFT and be like, hey, it's on chain. And we had a really cool time together. So the other thing, 2018, here's some fun facts for y'all. ETH price, $210. NFT ecosystem, I think there were like 10 projects. There was CryptoKitties, Axie, and a few others. NFTs minted, there were about 1 million plus. Most of it was kitties. We hit the kitty milestone in 2018 of 1 million kitties that were born. OpenSea monthly volume was about 50K. And OpenSea monthly sales were about 1.4K. So this was 2018, 6 years ago. Everyone was like still kind of on the fence of whether NFTs are huge and it could be a thing. And what I find so amazing is like ERC-6551 was roughly about 54 lines of code, all right? And that fundamentally changed the ecosystem. It generated X amount of value. It formed communities. It generated ideas globally, not just in Korea, Japan, Singapore, Asia, Europe, North America. 54 lines, that's all it took. I really do believe that tech enables culture here, and that's why I'm here. I always come from a first principle basis. I'm a big like nerdy guy around startups and tech. I love internet history, and for me, I always believe that when you have technology, whether that's this VX1000, which you can kind of see here, it's used to shoot skateboarding videos, which you've probably seen in the last 20, 30 years. Or a Pioneer CDJ, which has been used by all the biggest DJs around the world. And iPhone that opened up the App Store. And so when you look at tech, it really opens up the ability to enable culture. And I believe the same thing. I believe that NFTs enable new forms of internet culture. You've seen, 6 years ago, there was only one logo, or maybe a few. But now, I think you are familiar with a lot of these different projects. I also think it's not just enabling new forms of internet culture. It also expands existing cultural industries, whether that's gaming or fashion. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's overall going to change the fabric of culture. But we're here to talk about this huge topic here. I flew all the way here. It was Saturday night in Vancouver, and I was sitting home, and I was like, in my head, I was like, should I fly to Korea? Should I do this over Zoom? Or should I be here and tell you from the man himself, like what's going on, what's happening, what's broken? And I think NFTs are broken. I think various things you probably notice, right? Royalties, floor price, total volume, celebrity hype, airdrop bots, speculation, people getting really mad. It's been a really crazy, up and down journey for everyone here. I've kind of summed it up to 3 main problems of NFTs. These are really, really important. One, when we were sitting in a room in Vancouver, Dieter and Mac Flavel and the whole CryptoKitties team defining the 721 standard, we couldn't imagine what was going to happen in 6 years' time. We were thinking of a standard that would be like, hey, this is a fun cat project, so on the blockchain there's no element of uniqueness, so let's make a standard, right? 6 years later, lots of things have changed, and we have to revisit what has happened in the past in order to now build to the future. So the first thing is, we never designed ERC-721 to have like logic beyond buy-sell trade. Ultimately, it's been like, hey, this is a NFT, you hold it, you could sell it, you could buy it. Number 2, it was never meant to live on different chains. So when an NFT is on Ethereum, it's on Ethereum. When an NFT is on Solana, it's on Solana. Number 3, NFTs were never meant to be used as online identities. We didn't imagine that it would become PFPs. We were like, hey, it's a cat, it's an Axie, it's all these things, but no one really used it as a profile picture. That was a new behavior. So let's kind of dive into it. Never designed to handle logic beyond buy-sell trade. So if you are a builder, this is your situation right now. You either launch a ERC-6551 contract, and then later you append custom contracts on top of it. It could be a breeding contract, it could be a battle contract. It's on the side, right? Or you modify the ERC-6551 standard and you add functionalities in there. The problem is most platforms can't support these weird Frankenstein 721s. And so it kind of creates this conundrum of it's not composable, it's expensive, it's time consuming, it's risky, the platforms don't support it, and more importantly, lack of incentives. So, you know, if you launch a 721 and you make $10 million, what's the incentive for you to launch a custom contract for battling, right? You could just be like, hey, you know what, I'll throw some yacht parties and then it's all good, right? So the incentives are disaligned. The future state with token-bound accounts is you have ERC-721, every single NFT from CryptoKitties all the way to the latest collections are automatically linked with an ID of an account that allows you to own assets, to log into any dApps. And the future state is this idea that we call custom light contracts. These are still smart contracts, but the logic is much smaller now because most of the heavy lifting is already with the 721 and the TBA. The light contracts basically just interact and add staking, wrapping, burning, all of these things. So it's composable, it's affordable, it's decentralized, it's less risky. Platforms will support it because it's still a 721, and more importantly, you as the NFT owner can add utility to your NFT rather than waiting on the creators to ship utility. All right, let's talk about number 2, never meant to live on different chains. So if you've dove down this rabbit hole, you'll be familiar with this. If you haven't, it's around bridges. So present day right now, if you have a mainnet NFT and you want to take an action on an L2, you could use a third-party bridge like Layer 0 or whatever. And so you have a mainnet NFT that basically sends data over a bridge. You have to pay mainnet gas and L2 gas every single time. So what's the point of L2 when you want to play a game on L2 with your mainnet and you're paying gas on mainnet and L2? You know, it's just double dipping there. The second choice of bridging is you have a mainnet NFT and you do a permanent one-time transaction where you burn or you lock up your asset on a bridge contract. And then on the flip side, you mint a clone of it on an L2. And the cool thing is that then you have an NFT on L2 that only pays L2 gas. But the bad thing is now you're either locked up your NFT, so you can't go to the yacht party through token gating, or there could be a hack or a vulnerability, and your Bored Ape in this bridge gets extracted. The future state of this, using token-bound accounts, is you have a mainnet NFT. Some people don't know this, but a token-bound account, let's say the address is 0x123. It's the same address on mainnet on every single L2. So 0x123, which is the address of the mainnet, is the same. So you could think of it like a magic trick where you have a box here and a box here, and you put the bunny rabbit here, and it shows up on the other side. That's effectively, on a high level, what is going to happen here, using a TBA as a capsule to basically prove that it's in there. So there's a really cool thing when you do this. We call it a self-custodial bridge. This has never been created before. We are working on this right now. And the whole idea is that you only pay gas for the chain you use. So you keep your asset on mainnet. And if you want to go play a game on Optimism or Polygon or wherever, you only pay gas there. You don't pay mainnet gas. Number 2 is you maintain full ownership of your NFT at all times. Because it's your TBA and your NFT, you're not locking up on a central contract. Number 3 is there's no new NFT standard needed. You've probably seen some other projects like that are doing bridges, and they have like a new NFT standard that wraps your NFT and all this crazy stuff. We don't need any of that. Let's get to number 3, never meant to be used as online identities. So we all, I'm just using MetaMask as this example, but I'm sure you have Rainbow wallets and ledgers. But you know, with MetaMask, you have an address, you could get an ENS, you could connect to dApps, you could own tokens, you could transfer tokens, right? With an NFT, what do you do with it, right? You keep it in a ledger or a wallet, you screenshot it for a PFP, you hold till the floor rises or drops, right? With TBAs, this is about to change. It's going to have equalized functionality across the board. Effectively, all NFTs will be Ethereum identities on par with any wallet. So this NFT now has an address. You could get even an ENS subdomain. You could connect to dApp, own tokens, and transfer tokens. So those are the three main benefits of TBAs or ERC-6551 is you can plug and play on-chain mechanics. Every NFT lives on every EVM chain, and you can log in as your NFT and create history. We have a quick demo or video kind of showing you guys what it kind of looks like. So you have an NFT, it has an account address, and these are all the assets inside. It could own ERC-20, ERC-721s. You could connect as your NFT instead of your wallet across any dApp in the ecosystem. So you could log into OpenSea as your NFT, to Uniswap, which we'll probably show you in a second, or your NFT can be a signer on a Gnosis multisig. So the basic concept I'm sure you guys all know is every NFT owns a wallet account across all EVM. And that's what a token bound account is, that's what a TBA is. And TBAs are really interesting because it fulfills these 5 criteria that no other standard has ever fulfilled. Sorry about that. And so these are the 5. It works with every existing NFT. Like I said before, from the first NFT all the way to the next, it works for all of them. Number 2 is it could hold any asset, ETH, ERC-20, 721, 1155. If tomorrow I invent a new token standard called ERC-8888, it could also go into a TBA. No wrapping contract, it just works out of the box. 4 is it works with existing platforms because it's simply a wallet. Number 5, it's fully decentralized. The NFT has full custody, not us, not anybody else. Now you might get a lot of questions around account abstraction in this wave, and I like to talk about this because it's really important. And the way I see it is, the EOA wave is about to pass. This whole thing that we all, get a private key and seed words and all these stuff, that's over. This wave that's happening is account abstraction. And there's a bunch of folks, there's Anikit here from Bioeconomy. Like, account abstraction is an amazing wave that's coming to replace the user experience of wallets, and it's awesome. And this wave was generated by Anakin and his team, Bioeconomy, and Vitalik, and a few others. And the way we see it is we are on the same wave. We're on the same team. We just have a different surfboard. Our surfboard is made of NFTs. That's the only thing we really care about. And we really do believe with the self-custodial bridge that it's going to be cross-chain done right. I know this diagram shows a lot of things, but the general idea is that TBA is the capsule to access all across EVM. We know that OP Stack and all these things are going to continue to grow, and we're already anticipating that future. And we anticipate a future that in these L2 there's going to be apps, experiences, games, and DAOs, and so your NFT can engage with that. And what's more important is the ecosystem today has been growing tremendously. We have a lot of use cases around gaming, which Spacebar will tell you about, DAOs, social, infrastructure. The community has grown tremendously to about 1,300 developers and creators. And I'm going to just blast through a bunch of use cases. So Galverse is one of the projects. They have an NFT PFP project, and they're using it as like a decentralized inventory system. So you could put things inside of the NFT character. You have Spacebar, where you bring your own NFT, like a doodle, and then you could put it into a spaceship and play a game. You have Parallel, which is a top 20 NFT that has like NFT characters that are driven by AI, and they could go around and exchange tokens in game. Internet communities, we have Coop Records that are dropping fan passes to their members, and inside the fan pass there's music NFTs inside. The DAO memberships from Station, so now you could be a member with an NFT, and you could earn badges, stickers, soulbound tokens inside of the TBA. And then the other project which we're really excited about is called RDF, or Retroactive DAO Formation, is the idea of taking dead NFT projects and launching ERC-20 governance tokens inside of it, and then having every NFT being a signer on a multi-sig, and basically revives projects from the ground up. We have social networks like Lens Protocol that every single Lens profile for version 2 is going to be a token-bound account, meaning every follow, like, and every action you take is going to be nested in the profile. Pinata Cloud is creating a token graph. The other way to think about what we're doing is to create a token graph of network of ownerships between tokens. Tribes is creating a Web3 messenger where you could log in as your NFT and talk as your NFT. For fashion, you have Mintage and IYK, where it's a physical jacket with an NFC chip. When you tap on it, you claim an NFT. And you could get someone to autograph your jacket digitally, and it mints the autograph to the jacket NFT. Stapleverse is a project that we worked on. It's this idea of equipping digital clothes, and your character owns digital clothes. We've also worked with BBC Billionaire Boys Club around this idea of an NFT pager that embeds messages inside. So what's beyond ERC-6551? We went through a bunch of use cases, and there's a few things here that are really important. Marketplace integrations, obviously of OpenSea. That's coming down the line. We're working closely with OpenSea and the Seaport team. Updated tokenbound.org clients. NFT cross-chain identity, which I briefly mentioned, ENS subdomains for your collection, self-custodial bridge. ERC-721T is a new implementation that basically cuts the cost of airdrop to 10x. It's something that we're currently working on as well. And then the idea of light contract templates or apps where you can actually embed utility to your NFT. And last but not least, I'm excited to also talk about the token-bound protocol, which is what ties everything together. But before I get there, I want to talk about something that's really, really important. I know this is going to ruffle some feathers. Some folks are going to be like, you know, royalties is the lifeblood for NFT creator projects, but unfortunately I'm here to bring the bad news: royalties are dead. And here's why. Because NFT supply is extremely constrained and there's no platform loyalty. To stay competitive, platforms are undercutting each other, and it's going to be a race to the bottom. It's out of our control, unfortunately. It's really sad that NFT owners, NFT creators, we're sitting here and the marketplaces are like fighting each other and basically, hey, we're going to the bottom. So right now, for the last 6 years, we've been playing this game. This game is really important. This game, which we all know is the hype game. Since 2017 to 2023, which is now, it's always been about community building. It's about Discord grinding, celebrity purchases, marketing without product. And so it's this cycle of people who own NFTs, they spike it up, and then the royalties kind of feed to the creators, and that's only good until it stops, right? So the creators are rewarded when the floor rises and the volume is high. The revenue is not linked to product delivery, so they just sit back, collect royalties. They don't have to ship anything. Number 3 is they usually spend capital on marketing instead of product. For the owners, you're incentivized to promote and recruit new buyers. Your content creation and distribution drives awareness, and you're paying royalties on every transaction without any product guarantees. This is the hype game. This is what we've been doing for the last 6 years on the NFT side. We need to move forward to the next game. This game is really important. It's the engagement game. If we don't move forward to this game, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to be stuck in the hype game, which isn't so good. So it's going to be about on-chain games, like contracts, aka apps, token-bound accounts, autonomous worlds, NPCs. And the general idea is that you have creators and builders who are building on-chain experiences and apps. And as an owner of an NFT, your whole goal is to actually play those games and to engage with it. It's very simple as that, right? Rather than sale price and marketplace. So as a creator, you're incentivized to build products and experiences. You abstract away the speculative aspects. More engagement equals more revenue and rewards. As an owner, instead of holding assets and driving hype, you will need to use your NFT. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but you really need to use your NFT. That's the reason why you bought it. Owner controls which utility to add to their NFTs instead of the creators. And more engagement equals more rewards. And to connect all these pieces is the idea of a network or a protocol to help kind of balance out these different players, make sure this wheel is spinning, make sure people are participating in the network. So this is where the token-bound protocol that is being constructed and how we really believe it's going to push forward the next wave of NFTs around engagement. So you have an NFT, And the whole idea is, hey, instead of sitting here waiting for floor, you should use your NFT, use the TBA. And when you do, you're going to pay gas, and it's going to go through a bundler. And that bundler is going to feed some of it to the validator or sequencer to make sure the transaction's on chain. And then some of it's going to feed into a community treasury and then issue out rewards. The rewards will be issued out to the NFTs and the NFT creators. And the reason why it goes to the NFT creators is it helps incentivize building light contracts or apps for NFTs. So it's a continuous cycle that is extremely important and missing at this point. And then last but not least is every single owner, builder, developer, creator, you're all part of this network and you're all governing it. So this is kind of the high level of how it all comes together. We have the standard, the token-bound contract implementation, the protocol infrastructure, cross-chain, all of that, developer SDK platform, tokenbound.org, the client or website, and then governance. And so as an owner, you use your NFT, you engage in on-chain experiences, you fully control your NFT's utility, log in as your NFT. Developer, increase engagement with your existing owners, fast, secure, and build experiences that are really fun. So I'm wrapping up now. You should scan that to join the ERC-6551, the token-bound working group. We have weekly dev calls on Thursdays, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And we also do a lot of updates there on what's happening. Today, I think there's about 1,300 developers there. Do we have time for demo, or is it probably move over?
We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes? OK. Who wants to see demo? Yeah. OK, cool. I talked a lot, but I think you got to see it to believe it. It's one of those things. So what you're looking at here, Alchemy is trying to load, but OK, so you have a Moonbird, right? This is testnet, so you'll get the idea, though. So I think this visual will speak 1,000 words here once it loads. If it loads. We could always come back. Yeah, we're going to let that load. So here's my NFT. It's an All-Stars. I really like it. It's kind of a fun project. And on tokenbound.org, you can see a few things. This is my NFT. You can see that it has a link to its tokenbound account, 0x5e. You can see it on chain here. And I have assets inside, right? So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to log into Uniswap as my NFT. So it's as simple as connect, wallet connect. Oh, it just connected because it remembered. But let me show you here on OpenSea. So wallet connect, gonna pop up. Demos, I tell you. You always need to have backup, right? Okay, that ain't gonna work. I'll show you another thing. So Sapiens, I have triple backups. Okay, so. Sapiens is a project we launched. It's using a TBA. All these things that are there are actually NFTs inside of an NFT. So what's going to be really cool is this NFT right now is wearing nothing, right, like a t-shirt. And so what we're going to do is do on-chain equipping on ETH mainnet without paying any gas, which is kind of crazy. So I'm going to equip all these NFTs. I'm going to click Save Change. And all I'm going to do is sign a message. This signing message proves that I own these NFTs. I click Sign. Drum roll. Man, you guys all taking all the Wi-Fi. Oh, you saw that naked version. Okay, it worked. It worked. So I equipped all the things. If I want to just remove all the items, I'll do the same, and then it should slowly take off the clothes. Let's all clap because it kind of worked. And then I don't know if this token graph will load because this is really, really cool. I'm way over time. Okay, I'm going to wrap up, but check it out, tokenbound.org, and I'll be around to chat afterwards. But thank you so much. I'm going to pass it to the next person. Thank you so much.